everyone, Justin here. Today we are checking out Touch Too Much by acdc, another all-time classic off the Highway to Hell album. Really great one for people getting into their rock rhythm guitar, because there's a lot of really great accent passages that you got to work on, making sure that you can get your palm mute with your accents really good. A lot of gelling in with the band for the big hits together. You know, that's an important part of this track. Definitely playing along with the original recording is something you want to be doing. If you're going to do it though, you need to tune the original recording up. I think it's about 33 cents, okay, so which is 33 hundredths of a semitone. Okay, I can only assume that maybe the master reel, and back in the days a tape was a little bit slow, and so it's just ever so slightly too low. You can either tune your guitar down, but if you're using software like Transcribe, which I'll put a link in the description of this video if you're using that, then it can be a nice a lot easier way just to tune the original recording up that 33 cents, and then you'll be perfectly in tune. So there's nothing too difficult going on here for the rhythm guitar parts. We're mainly looking at Malcolm's part again today for part of the tribute series. So starting off, we want an E power chord, an open E power chord, and what's going on here is some palm muting and then an accent passage. Okay, 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Okay, that's where the accent is. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. You're still playing even eighths, so start off with just a nice little even eighth notes, and then 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. If you're playing it and you want to kind of make a mix of the Malcolm and Angus parts, if you're playing it on your own, kind of seems to work for me to play an E power chord up here at the 7th fret. So first finger 7th fret, third and fourth fingers 9th fret, 4th and 3rd string, and then use that for the accent. So but I think it's different again. If you're learning acdc stuff, you want to be paying attention to the left and right speakers and how they're different, so you can get an idea of how Malcolm and Angus are kind of weaving together, because that's a big part of the sound. So does 4 bars of that E chord there at the very intro. Then it's going E, C, A. Okay, so just regular open E power chord that we had before, then a C power chord, first finger in the 3rd fret of the 5th string, 3rd and 4th fingers on the 3rd and 4th strings in the 5th fret, standard C power chord, then to an open A power chord. Only it's not an open A power chord, you want to be using a mini bar, because we want to have that 2nd string ringing out as well. Maybe not for the 3rd bar, where we're just playing the A chord with the chug still, but this is putting, I use my 3rd finger, you could use your 2nd, whatever feels most comfortable, in the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. Okay, and it's sus4 regular for 2, sus4 regular for 2, sus4 regular. Sometimes that last one's kind of open strings while I'm moving to the next chord. Okay? Okay, you get lots of little things like that in reality when you're moving between chords. Sometimes you hit some open strings, and that's fine to, you know, don't be worried about doing that. As long as it's much more important to be landing on the chords right on the beat, on beat 1, than leaving a chord a little early, right? Especially if the changes are getting quick. It's not ideal. You want to be playing them all full all the time, but the reality is that that doesn't happen. So that's the verse. It does that twice round. So E, C, A, and then A with that little sus4 riff again. Okay, it's a little 4-bar sequence. That's played twice. Then we're into the next section. Is a 4-bar sequence. It's going 2 bars of C, 2 bars of A, 2 bars of C, 2 bars of D. But what's really important here is the accent passage, right? So we're doing this. Okay, that's the part. So really important that you catch those accents. On the C chord, in the 1st bar, we've got accents on the and after 3 and the and after 4. On the A chord, the 1st bar of the A chord, because there's 2 bars of the A, on the 1st bar, we have the same accents, the and after 3, the and after 4, and the 2nd bar of the A is just straight. The next time we hit the C chord, which is bar 5, we have the accents on 1, 2, and then the and of 3 and the and after 4. And then in the 2nd bar on beats 3 and 4, Okay, this is probably worth writing down if you're struggling to remember it. And then we have the same pattern again on the D. So the accents are on beats 1 and 2, the and after 3, the and after 4. And in the second bar of the D, the accents are on and 3, 4. Okay, again, listening to the original recording is definitely the easiest way to do it rather than trying to muck around with the count. But personally, I find it easier to write it down, know what the count is, then I'm listening to it and playing it a bunch of times, and kind of knowing helps me remember it better than just by doing it by listening. Although this song, you know, I've heard it 1,000 times, so I kind of knew how the accent patterns were before I even started transcribing it. So I'm just going to play it through again now real slow and put those accents in. So it's starting from the C, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and A, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 to C, 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Okay, so learning those patterns, especially as you know, if you're just fairly new to the kind of rock rhythm thing, being able to play a consistent muted eighth note and then add those accents in is a really important skill. It's very, very common. AC/DC's pioneers of this stuff. This is really, really important, a skill set that you need to develop, and this is a fantastic track for developing that. So into the chorus now. First thing, notice we're not playing on beat 1, so it's 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. Now, there's a lot of what we call pushes in AC/DC music, which is where we have a chord comes on an eighth note before the bar, so on the and after 4. In this case, it's the G chord. We've got the E, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. Okay, so it's the G chord is held for a whole bar, but it's played not on beat 1, on the and after 4 of the bar before. Okay, so and after 4 and the bar before. It's got little funny rhymes in it. Okay, so E, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. A's on the beat. But this note here, the C, is again pushed forward. It's on the and after 4. So A is on the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and. Okay, so we're playing C, then B, that's C note, 3rd fret, 5th string with the 2nd finger, then the B note, which is a semitone lower than that 2nd fret, 5th string, 1st finger, open A to a little D power chord. So open D chord really, but you're just not playing the thinner string. You don't need to even bother putting that 2nd finger down. So the A chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, 4. Okay, so the first part of the chorus, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, 4, 1. Now the next time we don't have that gap on the E, so the E is just played on beat 1, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and G is still pushed, same as the first time round. The next A, again E, right on the beat, G is pushed. 2, 3, 4, A, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4. So on the third time through that sequence, the C and the D are both pushed. So the C comes on the and after 4, the D comes on the and after 2. Now, if all of this counting and talking is getting you a bit of a muddle, listen to it, because the listening to it will solve all of the problems. If you've ever got a question about a song and how it goes, listening is the answer, right? I just think it's helpful to understand what's going on here a little bit with the count. And a lot, you know, feedback I get is a lot of you guys like the count, so that's why I'm taking you through that stuff. So we're now through the fourth time through this sequence, okay, for the chorus. And it's got another one of the stops with the E. So 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2. But this time on the G chord, we stop the chord on beat 2. So we use the outside part of our hand to mute it on beat 2. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. Okay, we've got one bar of A with the palm mute, and then the little sus4 riff on the A chord. That's the whole chorus. Let me play that through nice and slow, and I'll do a count along, then I'll play it properly at full speed. So chorus, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, Okay, and then just going into the next verse, there's 2 bars of E with a little, like we had in the intro with that little accent passage. So with these kind of tunes, that's the really important stuff, is learning where the accents are, because as a band it wants to hit together, and that's why playing along with the original recording is such an important thing, and that's what you want to be absorbing, not just like getting the chords right. The chords are kind of the easy part here. It's getting the accents right and then locking in with the rhythm, because you want to be playing those eighth notes exactly with the band. When you're practicing just going, those eighth notes want to be like exactly in time. Don't be happy with them being kind of a little bit wobbly rhythmically. You really want to concentrate on making them really even. I spend a lot of time with a metronome just practicing going, trying to make sure that the notes are nice and even. I mean, this is, 20 or 30 years ago probably I was doing that, but it's, it's really, really useful to be able to just concentrate on making things sound even and tight and right with the beat, not just be happy with the kind of sloppy stuff. This is the whole ACDC thing is about it's simple ain't easy. That's my favorite expression to describe ACDC music, because it's not easy to do it exactly right all the time, Anyway, I digress. After that first chorus, there's those 2 bars of E, and then it goes into the second verse exactly the same as the first time through, except for the accent passage. So instead of having the, it does this. So C, A, 2, 3, 4, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. Okay, they're all offbeats. It's this little classic trick. It's kind of, I always think of it like a Rolling Stonesy idea, but AC/DC use it a lot. So it's nothing on the thicker string, open A string, third finger in the 4th fret of the 4th string, first finger is still barring the A chord, so the 2nd fret on the 3rd string, and second finger goes down the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. Okay, it's a D over A. Okay, it's a C-shaped D chord, is its kind of parent, but it's got that A bass still. And it's on the offbeats, twice on the D and twice on the A. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, that's where it fits into that verse, and it's just played twice through. So E, C, to the A, here, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Now the second time through the, let's call it the pre-chorus, the 2 bars of C, 2 bars of A, 2 bars of C, 2 bars of D part, all of those accents have been stripped out. Okay, so all of that stuff only happens the first time. Second time just chugs along nice on the 8th notes. It's a little bit less palm muted, a little bit fuller. But that's the, one of those things, arrangement things. It definitely works better that way. After that, we go into another chorus, exactly the same as the last chorus, except at the end, instead of going to the A chord with the... Instead of doing that part, we go to an E chord for 2 bars of chugging. And then we're into the solo. Solo is 2 bars of C, 2 bars of A, 2 bars of C, 2 bars of D, just chugging. Okay? Nice and simple. And then we've got this one little kind of bridgey bit. Okay, which is an E chord, G, A, then A, G, A, B. Okay, which is open A, open 5th string, 2nd finger, 3rd fret, 5th thicker string, open A string again, 1st finger, 2nd fret, 5th string. So E, G, A, C, probably just a 2-note power chord, but you use the 3-note power chord if you wish. A, E. So sorry. E, G, A, G, A, C, A. Now we've got this little chuggy part, and it's got the pushers in it. We're on the G and the D. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those pushes just on the G chord and the D chord. It's the kind of thing that people muck up, and they'll put like pushes on everything or nothing. But try and be aware when you're learning a song where those pushes are, where the chords come a little earlier. You know, I describe it as always feeling like I get pushed in the back. That's how I remember the term of a push, because it does feel like that when the chord kind of lurches a little earlier. It does that, and it's, again, that's a nice part of the song to listen to the two AC/DC parts between Angus and Malcolm, where you get Angus is playing things a little bit more fancy and adding in the chords, whereas Malcolm keeps that chug going along, which I think works real great. Again, up to you if you're playing on your own which one of those things you're going to take down. And then it goes into a chorus, and you're there. There's a little bit at the end where they repeat the A with the A sus. But again, that's the kind of stuff you just want to listen to. If you're playing along with it, your ear will go, oh, that bit's played again, you know, and that's really important to do that. And I think that's this tune. Really nice solo to learn if any of you guys are getting into your transcribing. It's kind of Chuck Berry licks with a bit of distortion, really, and I think it would be a really nice one for anyone who's, you know, making a start on transcribing solos like AC/DC. You know, some of them are really, really difficult. This isn't one of them. This is a nice one to do if you're getting into that kind of soloing. I might do a lesson on this kind of thing, but, you know, I just feel like you guys should be, a solo like this is not particularly difficult, and if you're getting into your lead guitar, you really want to learn how to do that using your ears, because you can bet your bottom dollar that's how Angus learned to do it. So anyway, hope you've enjoyed this lesson, and I'll see you for plenty more AC/DC coming up. This is going to be 2018 is going to be the year of AC/DC as tributes to Mel for as long as I can keep it going for. So I'll see you for plenty more very soon. You take care of yourselves. Bye-bye. Thank you.